Okay. So now we are going to start with today's class. Last class we had done the four feature part. Today we are going to do the reissue part and then transfer to capital reserve. So any student who wants to go through the four feature part can go through my previous video that I've already uploaded. So you can go through that whenever you have problems. You can also ask me even after looking into the video. If you have a problem, you can ask me. So today's topic, reissue of shares. Well, what happens here is that under reissue of shares, once the shares have been forfeited from the shareholder who hasn't made the payment, the company will not keep those shares idle. Suppose Mr. A was unable to pay the amount due on final call and his shares were subsequently forfeited. Means the ownership right of Mr. A was taken away by taking away the shares. Now what happens? The same shares is once again sold back in the market, as simple as that. The same shares will be reissued to some other person. So the forfeited shares, when it is once again reissued back into the market for sale, is known as reissue of shares. Is that clear? Now, reissue of shares can be done in either of the three ways. It can be done at par. It can be done at par. It can also be done at premium. Can also be done at discount. At par, at premium, at discount. Is that clear to all of you students? What is the meaning of par? That means, say for example, the face value of the share is 10 and the share has been also reissued at 10. This is reissue at par. Face value is 10, called up is also 10, and the company has reissued the same shares at rupees 10. So in this case, the journal entry becomes bank account debited to equity share capital account. 10 rupees, 10 rupees. Next is premium, means suppose the face value of the share is 10 and the shares have been reissued, say, at rupees 12. Now, in this case, what is happening? 10 rupees share reissued at 12. So, are you not reissuing at more than the face value? Your face value is 10. Your called up is also 10. You are reissuing them at rupees 12. Means you're reissuing at more than the face value, or let's take it other way. You are reissuing at more than the called up value. Your face value is 10. Suppose the called up value is also 10. The called up value is also 10 and you are reissuing them at 12. So called up कितना था? मांगा था 10, आपने reissue 12 में किया. Means ज्यादा में किया. In this case, what is the journal? Bank account debit. How much did you receive? Just think कि तुमने 10 रुपया का शेयर को तुमने 12 में रीइश्यू किया, माने तुमने बेचा 12 में. You sold it for 12. तो आपके पास पैसा तो 12 रुपीस ही आएगा for every share. तो बैंक अकाउंट डेबिट 12 रुपीस. 2, equity share capital account, 10 rupees. 2, securities premium account, 2 rupees. 12 rupees is the reissued price. It is the reissued price. And you are reissuing them at rupees 2 premium. So premium will always be credited. This is the journal. Bank account debit to equity share capital account to securities premium account. And the next one. Suppose the face value of the share is 10. Face value of the share is 10. Your called up value is, say, 8. Sorry, called up value is also, say, 10. And you are reissuing them at 8. Understand? तुमने मांगा कितना 10 and called up was 10 and reissuing them at 8 rupees. That means 10 रुपए का चीज को आपने कितना में reissue किया? At what price did you reissue? 8.
8.
Are you reissuing at more than the called up value or less than the called up value? Tell me. Are you reissuing
less
value or less than the called up value? Less.
Less than the called up.
That means you are reissuing at a discount. So if you're reissuing at a discount, then what is the journal now? Bank account debit 8 rupees. Forfeited shares account debit 2 rupees. Forfeited shares account debit 2 rupees. 8. यहाँ पे बैंक अकाउंट डेबिट यहाँ पे 8. Forfeited shares account debit 2 rupees. 2 equity share capital account 10 rupees. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Is that understood, students?
Yes, sir.
I request you guys to copy this. Now, before you copy, let me also tell you the narration. What should be the narration? The narration is pretty simple. The narration will be shares, shares, number of shares. That's what I mean. That is the meaning of the word shares. Shares reissued at rupees 10 per share. इसमें shares reissued at rupees 12, including rupees 2 as प्रीमियम. और इस केस में क्या होगा? shares reissued at rupees 8 at a discount of rupees 2 per share. This is your journal of reissue. Now remember, after reissuing the shares, there is a profit on reissue. It always happens. It's a very simple concept. Why there is a profit on reissue? The reason is very simple. Because you are reissuing those shares which was once forfeited. Now, when you had forfeited, if you remember, when you had forfeited, you already received some amount on those forfeited shares as a company. Now, the same number of shares, you are again reissuing back to someone else, means same share say, you are again getting money. क्योंकि the shares that you had forfeited, तुम तो already तो कोई ना कोई पैसा तो उसके ऊपर मिला होगा. That is, say for example, those shares, say 400 shares were forfeited due to the non-payment of final call. That means from that particular shareholder, you must have received already application, allotment and first call money that is already received, which you have forfeited. Are you getting my point clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, the same shares you are reissuing to someone else. So are you not getting double payment on the same shares? So obviously there is going to be a profit on reissue. So that profit on reissue of shares is transferred to an account known as capital reserve. Profit on reissue transferred to which account? capital reserve. So the journal becomes forfeited shares account debit to capital reserve. Narration: profit on reissue transferred to capital reserve. This is your journal. I request my entire class to copy this first, then I will proceed. So what does the sum say? Sum says over here, C Limited forfeited 700 shares of rupees 10 each, of rupees 10 each. Fully called up, on which the holder has paid, application money of 3, application money of rupees 3 and allotment money at rupees 2 per share. Out of these 300 shares were reissued as fully paid at rupees 7 per share. At rupees 7 per share. Is that understood? This is the sum. Now tell me, how should I start? What should be my format? C Limited forfeited now 700 shares of 10 each, fully called up. Tell me, what is the face value of the share?
10.
I need people talking here.
10, sir.
The face value is 10. Tell me, fully called up ka matlab kya? What do you mean by the word fully called up? What do you mean by the word fully called up? What do you mean by the word fully called up? Come on.
So
Rupees
first
10
and
is
final
called
call
up by
done.
the
Means my face value is 10. Company has asked for the entire money of rupees 10. This is what it means. Am I clear with it?
yes, sir.
This is what it means. Fully called up का मतलब है आपका जो भी face value होगा 10 इस sum में है तो face value is 10 and you are receiving and you have called up how much? Rupees 10. So fully called up is rupees 10. Now on which the holder has paid application 3 and allotment 2. इसका मतलब ऐसा हुआ कि called up 10 है, इसमें से how much is paid up? Paid up माने how much the company has received?
Rupees 5.
Company has received 5. Paid up माने company received 5. This is what it means. In your board exam, this is what you have to analyze. आपका called up 10 है, company paid up 5 है. Paid up का मतलब है शेयर होल्डर ने कितना पेमेंट किया, 5. मतलब कंपनी ने 5 रिसीव किया. अब इसका यह भी मतलब है 10 में से 5 कंपनी को मिला तो not received is how much? Not received is how much?
5 rupees.
5 rupees. Now because of the non-payment of this rupees 5, the shares got forfeited. यही तो इसका मतलब हुआ ना. So how many shares have been forfeited? 700 shares. Now let's look into the journal. Last class में we did the journal, students. Let's see what is the journal. बताइए, equity share capital account debited, correct? What is the formula? बच्चों, what is the formula? Equity share capital account debited. I need people talking here. What is the formula?
Number of shares forfeited into amount called up
Called
per
up per
share.
share. How many shares forfeited? 700 shares forfeited. Amount called up is how much? 10. तो आपका कितना हो जाएगा? This one 7,000 rupees. तो equity share capital account debited 7,000 rupees. 2. Now understand. 10 called up, 5 received. तो remaining 5 not received. यानी calls in arrear कितना है बच्चों? 5 rupees. तो equity share capital account debited 2. Calls in arrear account. 5 rupees not received. तो जितना नहीं रिसीव हुआ वही तो calls in arrear में बैठेगा. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
5 into 700. How much it is? 3,500. तो डेबिट में 7,000, क्रेडिट में 3,500 नहीं मिला. तो कितना मिला है? 2
3,400.
forfeited shares account 3,500. The remaining balance amount. Is this clear, students? What is the narration? 700 shares forfeited due to non-payment on call. कौन सा कॉल एग्जैक्टली पता नहीं, यू कैन जस्ट मेंशन कॉल. अब देखो, आपने 700 शेयर फॉरफिट किया ना. क्वेश्चन के हिसाब से देखो, 700 शेयर फॉरफिट हो चुका है. आउट ऑफ दिस हाउ मेनी शेयर्स आर रीइश्यूड?
300 shares.
shares are reissued. At what price?
7 rupees.
That means now understand, called up था 10, called up था 10 और तुमने रीइश्यू किया कितना में? रीइश्यू किया कितना में तुम लोग?
7 rupees.
7 रुपीज में रीइश्यू किया. इसका मतलब 10 कॉल्ड अप है, 10 कॉल्ड अप है, 7 में रीइश्यू, मतलब 3 का क्या हुआ? इज इन द 3 रुपीज आपके लिए डिस्काउंट? Is in 3 rupees discount? That means
Yes, sir.
you have reissued the shares at what? Par? Did you reissue the share at par? Did you reissue the share at premium? Or did you reissue the share at discount?
Discount.
So discount. And what is the journal entry? Bank account debited. Forfeited shares account debited. Shares account debited to equity share capital account. Now bank account debited. How many shares reissued बच्चों? 300 shares. At what price reissued? 7. तो यहाँ पे कितना जाएगा? 2,100. What is your discount on reissued? 3. तो 300 into 3. How much it is? 900. And finally 21 plus 9 is 3,000. Narration: 300 shares reissued at rupees 7 per share. After reissuing them at 7 per share, what is the next step? Class?
Transfer to capital reserve.
Class, rest of you, are you all understanding?
Yes, sir.
So now tell me, आप reissue कितना में किया? 7 rupees में. Now next, forfeited shares account debit to capital reserve account. अब देखो. Now understand the working note over here. इस working note को समझो. I'm just rubbing this part so that I can help you out with the working note. No. अब देखो वर्किंग नोट. वर्किंग नोट क्या होगा? टेल मी समथिंग इन दिस सम. वर्किंग नोट. On forfeiting 700 shares, what is the amount forfeited? What is the amount forfeited on 700 shares?
900.
Amount forfeited on 700 shares. Can you tell me what is that amount? Do you understand the meaning of the word amount forfeited? Amount forfeited का मतलब क्या है? जो पैसा कंपनी वापस नहीं करेगा, the amount which will not be refunded back to the shareholder. Which amount has been forfeited, class? Class, tell me. Isn't it 3,500? This money.
Yes, sir.
Did you all understand this?
Yes, sir.
Forfeited
Yes,
shares
sir.
में मैं क्या बिठाता हूं? जो पैसा मुझे मिल गया है. तो 700 शेयर फॉरफिट करके कंपनी को ऑलरेडी ये पैसा मिला कि नहीं मिला? अब तुम प्रॉफिट जो निकालोगे, रीइश्यू का जो प्रॉफिट हुआ, वो प्रॉफिट तुम कितने शेयर्स के पीछे निकालोगे? 700 शेयर्स के पीछे ना 300 शेयर्स के पीछे? प्रॉफिट जो होगा, जो कैपिटल रिजर्व में ट्रांसफर होगा, प्रॉफिट. फोरफिटेड शेयर्स टू कैपिटल रिजर्व का मतलब क्या है? You are transferring the profit on reissue. Now you are transferring profit on reissue on how many shares? 700 shares or 300 shares? तुम जितना रीइश्यू करोगे उसी का ही तो प्रॉफिट निकालोगे ना. Are you understanding this?
Yes, sir.
Any question on this?
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Amount forfeited on 700 share is 3,500. The amount forfeited on one share is how much? 3,500 divided by 700. Then amount forfeited on 300 shares कितना होगा? 3,500 by 700 into 300. So how much it is? बताइए. कितना होगा? 7 5 is 35. 1,500. This is the amount forfeited on 300 shares. That means 700 शेयर के पीछे 3,500 था. 300 shares के पीछे 1,500 is the amount forfeited. Now you have to understand, on 300 shares, your amount forfeited is 1,500, but you have reissued them at a discount of how much? 900. Therefore, discount on reissue. What is your discount on reissue? The discount on reissue is 900 rupees. So you minus kar do. How much do you get? 600. This is the amount to be transferred to capital reserve. Transferred to capital reserve. तो ये कितना हो जाएगा? 600. 600. Is this understood, students? Narration क्या होगा? Profit on reissue transferred to capital reserve. In this sum, what happens? D Limited forfeited 1,000 shares of rupees 10 each fully called up. तो इसका मतलब बहुत ही सिंपल है. Face value of the share is 10 and called up is also 10. Let's do the sum in parts on which the holder has paid only application money of 3 per share. That means called up भी 10 है और how much has been paid? Paid up कितना है? Only paid up is 3. तो अगर 10 रुपया कॉल्ड अप है, 3 is paid up, तो आपका एरियर कितना हुआ? कॉल्स इन एरियर कितना हुआ बच्चों? 10 minus 3 which is 7. That means the shares were forfeited due to the non-payment of 7 rupees per share. Am I audible to all of you? Did you all understand this? Is that
Yes,
clear?
sir.
So what is my journal entry over here? Journal entry is equity share, capital account debited. How much? 1000 into called up is how much? 10. That makes it how much, bachcho? 10,000 rupees. 2. Understand, 10 rupees called up है, एप्लीकेशन का 3 रुपया खाली मिला, तो यानी कि रिमेनिंग 7 हैज नॉट बीन रिसीव, तो क्रेडिट क्या होगा? टू कॉल्स इन एरियर अकाउंट 1000 into 7 which makes it how much बच्चों? 7,000. तो 10,000 में से 3 रुपया मिला है, तो 7 नहीं मिला, तो 7,000 नहीं मिला. 2 forfeited shares account, the remaining 3,000. I hope this one is clear to all of you. So मेरा narration क्या होगा? 1,000 shares forfeited due to non-payment of call. Now understand over here, 1,000 shares में से how many have you reissued? They said out of this 600 shares was reissued at 10.50 per share, fully paid up. मतलब को समझो, बहुत ही सिंपल मतलब है कि 10 रुपीज कॉल्ड अप था और 10 रुपीज फुल्ली पेड अप है, मतलब 10 रुपया मांगा, 10 रुपया पूरा पेड अप हो चुका है कंपनी के एंड से. नाउ व्हाइल रीइशुइंग देम, you are reissuing them at 10 rupees 50 पैसा. यानी मांगा जितना, फुल्ली कॉल्ड अप था, फुल्ली पेड अप था, मैंने 10 रुपया तक कॉल्ड अप, 10 रुपया तक पेड अप, उसको तुमने 10 रुपीज 50 पैसे में रीइश्यू किया. दैट मींस हैवंट यू रीइश्यूड एट अ प्रीमियम? Did you all understand this first? Did you all understand this? यानी कि 10 रुपीज 50 पैसे में जब आप रीइश्यू किया, कॉल्ड अप कितना था? 10 रुपीज. तो 10 रुपीज का सामान को 10.5 रुपया में रीइश्यू किया, तो प्रीमियम कितना आया? 50 पैसे पर शेयर. ये प्रीमियम है. Now when you reissue shares at a premium, what is the journal entry for that? What is the journal entry for that? Bank account debited. 2. Equity share, capital account. 2. Securities, premium account. Is this understood, students?
Yes, sir.
Reissued at a premium.
Yes,
now,
sir.
how many shares reissued, बच्चों? 600 shares reissued. At what price? 10 rupees 50 पैसे. यानी कि 600 into 10 rupees 50 पैसे कितना होगा? 600 into 10.5. 6,300.
6,300.
Now, 10.5 रुपये में रीइश्यू किया, तो क्या कितना मिला? 6,300 यू रिसीव. नाउ टेल मी, 10 रुपीज का माल को 10.5 में रीइश्यू किया, 50 पैसे का प्रीमियम में रीइश्यू किया, तो यहां पे आएगा प्रीमियम. ऑन हाउ मेनी शेयर्स? 600 शेयर्स into premium is 0.50 per share. So that makes it how much बच्चों? 300 rupees premium. And the remaining 6,000 कहां आ जाएगा? कैपिटल में आ जाएगा. तो अब आपका नरेशन यहां पे क्या होगा? 600 shares reissued at rupees 10.50 per share. Is that understood? Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
And now finally आपका कौन सा जर्नल आएगा? प्रॉफिट ऑन रीइश्यू का जर्नल. इस जगह पे आप लोग अटक गए. देखो, forfeited shares account debit to capital reserve. नाउ इसको करते हैं, पहले समझते हैं, बहुत सिंपल है। अब अभी आप लोग क्या करोगे, जो वर्किंग नोट अब जो आप लोग बनाओगे, ये जो वर्किंग नोट बनाओगे इसको देखो। वर्किंग नोट सबसे पहले अमाउंट forfeited on how many shares? 1000 shares. What is your amount forfeited on 1000 shares? What is your amount forfeited on 1000 shares?
3000.
3000. 1000 शेयर forfeit करके आपको 3000 मिला। Then amount forfeited on 1 share कितना होगा? 3000 divided by 1000. Now amount forfeited on 600 shares कितना होगा? 3000 by 1000 into 600 कितना हो रहा है ये? 1800 आया 1800। Now remember, whenever you reissue shares at a premium, the premium amount on reissue will not be added to calculate capital reserve. Did you understand what I said? Whenever you reissue shares at a premium, the premium amount will not be added to calculate capital reserve. But if you reissue shares at a discount, then that amount of discount will have to be subtracted from the amount of forfeited share amount. Is that clear? Whenever you reissue shares at a discount, you will subtract the amount of discount. But whenever you reissue shares at a premium, you will not add this premium amount reissued at premium to calculate capital reserve. So in this case, amount forfeited for 1000 share was 3000 rupees. Hence for 600 share is how much? Simple maths. It is 1800 rupees. So this is your profit on reissue, which will be transferred over here. 1800. Devanshi, is it clear? Siddha, Netra, Alankrit, clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Profit on reissue transferred to capital reserve. Bacho, is it clear? Hello. Hi. Understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any questions by anyone?